So if you follow the channel at all for the past couple of months, you would know that I actually had the RE27. I bought a used one off eBay a couple of months ago, and I wasn't really happy with it because it was actually not in the best condition and the grille was misaligned. So I've actually refunded it. But I did actually like the sound quality coming out of the RE27. So I wasn't actually planning on buying it again anytime soon, to be honest. I actually kind of concluded that video where I just spoke about how I would enjoy the RE20 for what it is and really milk it. And then maybe in a couple of years' time, in my mind, I was thinking I'd get the RE27. But here I am 2 months later with a brand new RE27. So I actually recorded a video yesterday where I was unboxing the RE27 and talking about why I repurchased the microphone. But through the editing process, I was actually realizing that I was actually referring to the mics incorrectly. I kept calling the RE20 as the RE320. I even referred to this as the RE327 at one point. I guess I was just really tired when I recorded the video and I wasn't speaking correctly. So I figured I'd just retell the story, overlay the footage from yesterday, and just treat this as sort of like an audio sample for anyone who's interested in hearing the story and or just wants to hear the sound quality of the RE27. So what actually prompted me to get the RE27 again, it was actually a very silly reason. When I had the RE27 before, I had in my mind I wanted to do a three-way comparison of the RE20, RE320 and the RE27. So I wasn't actually able to get my hands on an RE320 when I last had the RE27, so therefore I couldn't do the three-way comparison. But the idea of doing that video was always in my mind. And then, typical me, scrolling through Facebook Marketplace just to see what local deals there are on any used tech. And then I saw an RE320 for sale, and it was actually for £220. But I actually just dropped a very transparent message, and I said, listen, I don't actually need the microphone, but I just lost out on a bid on eBay for £155. Would you be willing to accept that as cash payment? He didn't go as far down to 155, but we negotiated 165 and he was happy to accept that. And it was just a situation where we're just waiting for the next time we can align my work trip to his availability to when I could buy it, which only happened last week. So I ended up buying the Electro-Voice RE320 for £165. Based off market value, brand new from a shop, it's actually a really good price, but ultimately still £165 for a microphone I don't really need. But I was still just interested in it because it was one of the Electro-Voice microphones that I haven't used at that point. But then now I actually have the RE320. I already own the RE20. I was just thinking, now I'd love to do that three-way comparison with the RE27. So then what I ended up doing, I planted that seed into my brain that now I want the RE27 again. And then I went on eBay, I started looking around for available listings, and there was one that was going on auction. I placed a couple bids down, and then I just put my maximum that I was willing to pay for an RE20, which was £550. And then just before the auction finished, I got outbidded, and it was like £571 that I lost a bid on. I even boosted my bid by 561. But the final closing bid was 571, which I lost out, which is £10 increment. So I just literally lost out by one bid. But now again, doing that, planted the seed once more that I was kind of like having the idea of doing that three-way comparison video and getting the microphone again. But then a day after, the listing went back up and it was on auction again. So I actually feel that seller was actually just getting a friend to boost the bids from the other side. And unfortunately, I lost out on that microphone. But now in my mind, I kind of like accepted the fact that I was willing to spend 561 for the microphone plus £10 P&P. So it was like close to £600. And then I saw on Google, there is actually a seller selling one for £600 and it was brand new. So I figured, you know what? I don't know about this website. I read the Trustpilot and it seems to be a legit site. Purchased it. So I got the RE27 for £600. It's a lot of money, I know, but at the same time, this is probably going to be the microphone I end up with now, to be honest. I'll probably do a few more tests with the RE20, RE320, and the other ones I have. So I'm going to look to do the three-way comparison between the three Electro-Voices and then make my final decision which one I'm going to choose between them. So that's essentially the story about how I ended up with the RE27 again. When I previously had it in the past, I actually really did enjoy the sound quality of it, especially after I learned that I needed to process it just a little bit. I'm not doing like professional EQ levels or anything. I'm still using presets and templates on the Rodecaster Pro 2, but I'm able to get some really crisp, clean sound from it. And when I was comparing this against my RE20, the RE20 was just sounding a little bit too muffled for me, but that was only in comparison to this. So my mistake was actually trying the RE27 a couple of months ago because prior to that, I was completely happy with the RE20, but then I tested the waters and I realized I prefer this. So upcoming soon, like I said, I'm going to do a three-way comparison between the three Electro-Voice mics. I'm also going to do a follow-up conclusion about my thoughts on the Shure SM7B. And funny enough, that's the microphone that kind of triggered this whole entire microphone and audio journey for me. So I just wanted to get this video out there just for a couple of reasons, because this YouTube channel is actually just a side project of mine. It's not generating any income whatsoever for me. It's just sort of like my outlet to talk about the things I like talking about. But I kind of just wanted to put something out there for now, just to keep up the momentum, because I haven't posted for like 4 to 5 weeks. So much respect if you're still watching at this point. Much appreciated.